Internet, good morning. My name is Magnitude, aka Steve, and welcome back to some more, well, another Nimble Nimbus update. Of course, it is Monday, and that's really all I've been doing. I haven't been posting a lot of other videos because I haven't been playing any other games really at all, period. I've just been trying to make this game and make a solid update every single week until I get to the point where the updates aren't about adding content or mechanics. They're about fine tweaking the things. So I want to go ahead and just jump into the game itself. Again, Nimble Nimbus is my mobile gaming project. If you guys want to become a Patreon, all Patreon money will be going to, towards funding this game and games going forward. I really don't imagine I'll get really anybody at this stage in the game. It's still early in development, and there's not still a lot of attention behind it. But it's out there. I'll be advertising it every now and then. But I want to go ahead and just talk about all the changes that happened and occurred in this past week's update. So, also, for questions, this will be coming to iOS next week with the next update. So, this week was 0.11.1. For 0.11.2, we'll include an iOS update, and there will be a lot to talk about when that happens, such as how that happened, because the person who made that happen is a phenomenal person. So, let's talk about the changes to the player. What is new for the actual person playing? So there's now a player overview control, which is a place. It's pretty much, it'll be like a floating object that'll always exist in the background, and eventually there will be a GUI element to it that'll control everything. So it'll be easier for data retrieval and data set. So instead of there being like 1,000 different scripts and places that get your weapon and your inventory and your equipment, it'll all be controlled from one script in the back end. So, obviously that script will retrieve data from other places, but it's all going to be, so when you actually start a game, it's all going to be based on what's in your player overview controller. That's actually kind of more for me than anything, but it will help with data retrieval and data set, and it'll make things a little more organized for me going forward. I've added auras to a player's inventory. You can now select a different aura in your character equipment. So right now, I am just trying to just kind of make the game as visually, as better, I guess, as good visually as I can possibly make it. I am not a big graphics person, so I don't really have a lot of ability in that regard. But there are people that do, and those people will be helping me work on this going forward, and they'll be helping me out. Add more stuff. But for now, I added auras to player's inventory, and that is to actually test a few things. That was to test a shop, which I'll talk about in a little bit. That's to test an equipment controller that I'm using, and that's just pretty much to do that, to test the shop and equipment to make sure that a player can have equipment, can have an inventory, can pick one item of that inventory to add to their equipment, and then whether or not they install the game on a new phone or anything, that equipment will be there regardless. So that was kind of the test, the inventory or the auras, and I think so far it's been working out well. I removed the speed item. It eventually will return, but the GUI looked kind of bad and out of place, and until I have a kind of a more stable GUI, I don't really want that just block to be there, and it wasn't really clear what it was, which is, is fair, and I will be making like a tutorial kind of mode eventually, but right now I'm just trying to actually, because I don't want to make a tutorial mode and then add something and then have to change the tutorial mode, so that's what's going on there. I changed the rain weapon. I gave it a little more delay, but I also increased the damage from 2 to 3. So it's got a 9 delay instead of 8 delay. The delay is a frame delay in between shots. So the higher the delay, the shorter the delay, the more quickly it fires. And then increased the damage from 2 to 3 because 2 damage wasn't enough, I don't believe. I changed the fire weapon from 13 delay to 15 delay. So, also, all these changes, guys, are in the link in the description. You can go check those out instead of listening to me kind of ramble and talk about it, if that's what you so choose. I added a level experience bar to the main screen. It sits right there inside the HP bar. That'll be actually undergoing an update. A couple of these things will be undergoing even further updates in the next update. But for now, there is a level experience bar. It's on the main screen, so you can see how far you are to the next level. So let me talk about now some other changes that I made, and they're actually listed under other changes. I added an in-game currency, which is crystals, which right now can be gotten as drops from enemies. Actually, right now you can only get one crystal at a time from enemies as they drop, and you gotta actually get it. But actually in the next update, I'm gonna go ahead and spoil it, there are 4 different crystal values you can get, and they are, of course, different crystal colors, so you can very clearly see what they are. I've added a shop using the very same in-game currency. To the first iteration of the shop, it's for testing. So the first 4 items in the shop are auras. So the whole point is I wanted to test to see if I could add items to a shop and then pretty much a player buys the item with their in-game currency they get, and then they can have the item in their inventory and they can equip that item. It's a lot of work, and I have it where it's a dynamic shop now. So if you're on the shop right now and you go and you see there's items there, and I go into the shop on the database and I take out an item or change an item, the next time you load the shop, you don't even need to reload the app. Next time you just reload the shop, the inventory will have changed based on what I change it to. So that was my kind of goal there. I wanted to make sure that could happen, so I could do limited time items and stuff like that, and I can. So I was pretty happy about how that came out. Of course, the GUIs will always be updating until they become better and nicer to look at, but the framework is there to, I use that phrasing a lot, the framework is there. That's just code for I don't have the graphics make it look as nice as I want yet. But the framework is there for it, so I can always just start adding more and more items to the shop, and people can keep buying them and add them to the inventory. I've added I've added leaderboards as well to showcase the top five players in terms of score and total experience. Future versions will show the player's win speed with the score. So if you have high score, it'll also show what win speed you were on, because of course win speed affects the score. And then I've added a visual indicator where the player touches their finger on the screen. It's only active for non-game screens. I thought that was kind of just a nice little graphic touch there. Oh, also for the leaderboards, if you swipe left and right, you can get to the other leaderboards. So if you swipe left and right on the total experience leaderboard, you get to the top score leaderboard, and vice versa. So these are the updates that have been in this version of the game. There are more on the way, obviously, one every week. Next week, planning on the iOS drop. So I'm very excited to make that happen. I really hope I can make that happen. And I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. I've certainly been excited developing it. And right now, as far as accounts go, I'll be doing some more database work over the week as far as structuring goes and stuff like that, and trying to figure out how to make my life easier. But as far as total accounts right now, I'm actually going to check right now. I'm going to go ahead and minimize some of these database options. There are 25 total accounts on there. So each account's got an aura, and it's got different items and inventory and all that great stuff. So hoping to see some more players this week. Give it a like if you enjoyed, subscribe for more, and eventually, I actually might have a Super Smash Bros. Video this week. It's possible. I'll see you guys next time. Good night.